Happy Halloween, everyone of the Stay Positive podcast. Yes, we are late. We know about it. Shut up. Thank you. Anyway, how are we doing on this spooky night, Pete?
I'm all right, man.
You're not scared of all
No.
the monsters that are
talking
gonna come out?
talking to you scares me a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say your costume is really scary. You know, you look very frightening.
Wow, that's really funny because I'm not wearing anything. Ha ha ha. That's a great joke.
I know. It's an original
Anyways,
joke.
Okay.
I didn't steal that.
So, in the spirit of the spooky night,
November 1st, the scariest of
that word.
nights.
Yeah. We decided to do a little bit of a Halloween special to explore some aspects of our culture and how, I guess, the scary stuff happened in the past, so to speak. So without further ado, do you want to take it away, Alex?
So we're talking about scary monsters today. So let's start with a classic, the classic vampire, the bloodsucker of Romanian mythology. What do you know about vampires, Pete?
Well, we have a friend that is one, so it was on last week. If you don't know who it is, just go
Shout
back
out to Vampire.
But yeah, I know nothing. Give me some of your Romanian folklore / mythology.
So apparently, like, vampires, like, the idea of a vampire has existed for like years before Dracula, but Dracula became the romanticized notion of a vampire. Basically, vampires were like essentially zombies in their original mythology. They were just undead creatures that, like, restless souls that come back and haunt the living, and usually they stalk loved ones and suck their blood, I guess, for their essence, or because they're lacking it because they're dead. You know what I'm saying? You always gotta get what you need. Some people get water, some people get alcohol, and I guess vampires get blood.
Some people get alcohol.
I mean, it's true. Can you blame them? If you didn't have any blood in you, wouldn't you want some? That's what I thought. And then
I hate you.
And then one of Romania's heroes, I guess national heroes, came. Vlad Tepes, Dracul.
Wait, what? That's his name?
Yeah. You thought his name was Dracula?
No. I thought it was Vlad Dracul or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like something like Vladimir or Vlad Tepes Dracul. Or
interesting.
Or maybe his name was Vlad Tepes and his father was Dracul, and Dracula just means son of Dracul. And I think, if my memory is correct, I think Dracul means dragon, so that's a cool name, son of dragon.
Son of dragon.
That's
wouldn't
cool.
Wouldn't you rather be dragon, though? Just saying.
I mean, it's still pretty cool to be the son of a dragon.
Just saying. Okay.
And he was famous for his method of handling enemy soldiers. Pete's not very good with gory, gruesome details.
I'm okay.
So I'd rather not talk about it, because I've tried talking about it before with other people, and it just leads to a lot of awkward... Because it's not, let's just say it's not a nice way to go. So... But in all fairness, I mean, they weren't the instigators, they were the defenders. So whatever, you know, all's fair in love and war, as they say. And yeah, so Dracul became Dracula. And hence, because of his infamous way of handling threats, he became a vampire in mythology. And thus becomes the legend of Dracula.
Where's Transylvania? Isn't that like where his quote unquote castle was?
Yeah.
Romanian mythology, unless he's actually legit.
He is a real person, Pete.
But...
Vladimir Tepes is real. Pete, he's not fake. He's a real person.
So then why did that whole thing with him being considered Dracula a blood-sucking vampire, all that? Just give me a description of why that happened with like as little animation in your gore description.
Well, Like I said previously, in Eastern Europe, the concept of a vampire, like a blood-sucking, fang-having monster, kind of existed before him. And then he came along and did some stuff that involved pointy sticks and people. And you can imagine what he did with those pointy sticks.
Okay. I don't want to, but
There's a lot
unfortunately
of the
can.
color red. Let's put it that.
Yeah, okay.
And then,
Normal.
as I think in like the late 18th century or 19th century, there came the author Bram Stoker, and he wrote
Yes.
the Dracula.
18th century?
I think so. I forget
way.
when Dracula was written, but I believe the author was Bram Stoker, and Dracula was based off of Vladimir Tepes and the vampire myth, and there you go. Thus came Dracula, as we know him today.
Now that is interesting.
Vampires are cool because they have superpowers.
Yeah, Hollywood makes them out to be super, like, what's it called? Like, the Hollywood vampire has, like, insane strength. Like, this is me totally exposing myself, but I absolutely watched the whole Twilight series, and I'm not afraid to admit it at all. So anyway,
I mean, it's okay if you watch it. It's just not okay if you liked it. That's a joke. You can like it if you want, audience. Don't worry.
Anyways, relax. So anyways, like in that depiction, for instance, and all other depictions of what's it called? Of vampires, they have like super strength and they're super fast and they can smell like unbelievable. It's like all their senses and abilities are enhanced, except they can't be out in the daylight.
Yeah. That's basically it. So basically, like, superpowers that vampires have is they have super strength, super speed. They usually have the ability to transform. So the most famous is obviously the
bats
bat.
and stuff.
They also, in some instances, they transform into mist. They transform into werewolves, or they transform into like a winged beast creature, like. Imagine like a devil goblin-esque creature, but like
I can't.
but not red.
I cannot.
Okay, well, our more creative audience can probably figure it out, or just Google search vampire, and you'll see a pretty, like, just imagine like a gray goblin with wings, and that's one of their transformations. Ew. They also have the power to like hypnotize you, so that's cool, and. I mean, I don't know. I think ever since its inception, vampires always cling on to like their loved ones, whether it's they haunt them or they love them. So that's cool. It's also, I mean, we'll get into your mythology soon, but like out of all like the stereotypical creatures like mummies, werewolves, zombies, Frankenstein, vampires are like the only ones that are like sentient, if that's the right word. Like, they're awake, they're not just a feral monster, which I think is pretty cool.
Well, we can discuss that. Actually, I let's discuss that right now before we get into me, because like a werewolf is a person that transforms into
a werewolf,
you know, like a right, like, but they're a person in their regular life.
I believe it's like lyanthropy. Like
lycanthropy, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's a Greek word.
So you should know it.
Well, yeah, I do know it, bro. That's why I just schooled you.
Oh, okay.
Shut up, Alex.
Okay, thank you.
Anyways, so that, okay, yeah, but zombies and Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, yeah, shut up, Pete, with your technicalities.
Those things are definitely not sentient. You want to know a fun fact about me, actually?
You didn't read Frankenstein?
I used to have the most unbelievable phobia of zombies for like maybe 10 years.
I did, until I realized I could just like wear like a lot of sweaters and then I'd be safe. Because think about it, zombies are just people. Their teeth are not designed to like cut like a wolf or anything. So if you wore like 20 different like very thick sweaters and like turtlenecks, what are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Also the joke about the treadmills. Do you know what that is?
The what?
The
The
joke,
treadmills?
the joke about that. So, like, one idea to protect yourself from a zombie invasion, assuming zombies are the stereotypical slow-moving zombies, is you just put a bunch of treadmills around your house, like running in the opposite direction, and they'll never touch your house. Problem solved.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like for me, the reason that it happened was because when I was younger, I watched a zombie movie when I think I was like 5 years old, and it was like a Halloween special, like horror movie
Goosebumps.
marathons. No, I used to like those books a lot though, and they used to have like a show and
The
everything.
show was really good too.
I loved it as a
Really
kid.
creepy.
I loved it. I loved the books. But no, so I watched some like actually like legit like rated R, maybe even MA something. I was like 5 years old, dude, and I
Sweet.
swear to you, I had nightmares for a week, because like it was so graphic, and I had never seen anything like that before. It was that and Friday the 13th.
With
I watched that like maybe like when I was 6 or 7.
Friday the 13th, that's the
Dude.
one with Jason with the mask, right?
Yes, yeah, the guy in Crystal Lake that has the hockey mask and the
Yeah,
machete.
yeah, the summer camp.
Yeah, yeah, those things messed me up. Like they literally no, the zombies more so, cause like that was like my first horror experience. So I was like, holy shit, I couldn't sleep for a week, man. I'm telling you, like I had nightmares for a week, and I
Yeah.
literally never had that
For
like
me,
ever.
my small period where I had a phobia of zombies, it came from like, Call of Duty. So you know what that is? It's a video game.
Oh,
So so
interesting.
there
The first
is
time they came out with that was like Black Ops,
no,
right?
no, no, World at War, the one before Black Ops.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Um, so that was my first Call of Duty game, which is unfortunate because Modern Warfare was also really good. But that's
Mhm.
beside the point. So World at War came, and that was when Call of Duty became really popular on the internet, and everyone at school is playing Call of Duty. And I was just like, oh, I gotta put. It's so cool. I want to play Call of Duty. It's a first-person shooter, which is all the rage nowadays. I have to play it, so I bought it for Christmas, and I played through the campaign, and I think World at War is one of the best Call of Duty games. And then at the end, after the credits roll, there is a scene with Nazi zombies, and bless you, and it is because like the thing is there was no like indication that this was a thing. There was no like, oh, there's a Nazi zombie feature. This was me just playing a war game and thinking, ha, it's done. And then you have this ominous music and all this like fog and blue filters. And then it's just like you see these creatures not hobbling, but like limping like around. And then it keeps fading in and out with the creatures coming closer, and then you see one sprinting towards you, and it was so scary for me.
Yeah,
And
respect.
then the game started, and I'm like, wait, what? It's like I have to play this now. And I remember I so you start in the game mode Nazi zombies. You start off with a pistol with little ammunition, and I didn't know how to play the game, so I'm like scared, and I'm like walking around, and I don't know how anything works. And then the zombies start breaking in, and I start freaking out, and I start like just blasting them with my pistol, and I think I killed like two zombies, and then I was out of ammo, and out of fear I just closed the game. Or I forget if I closed it or if I just like turned the TV off because I was just so scared of what was happening.
Yeah,
Nazi
I feel
Zombie
that.
is a really good game mode. It's it's honestly the
I feel
best
that.
aspect of Call of Duty nowadays. But that's my hot take.
That's not a hot take. That's a pretty standard take. But I definitely know that because I used to play, because I was never a gamer, you know that. But like I would always play, like when I would go over a cousin's house, I would always play like zombies on Black Ops and everything.
You
And
know of it, like you know what Call of Duty is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that would always screw with me as well. Like just playing the video game like would mess with me. And then also like they tried to get me into The Walking Dead, that show.
The
That
show
show
or the game?
screw that show. No, the
The
show.
show. Okay.
Yeah. I literally I'm telling you, I think I was like 11 or 10. I don't know. I like the first season. I watched the
Yeah,
first 2 episodes, and I was like, no, I can't do this.
Do you know about?
Like
Do you
I
know
literally
anything about
freaked out.
zombies?
Huh?
You know anything about zombies?
Um, Aside from what Michael Jackson taught me in his music video for Thriller, no.
It's such a good music video too, and the like his dance moves are so creative. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. But like zombies were always a metaphor for like consumerism ever since like
What?
its inception. Yeah.
You're joking. No,
No,
you're lying, bro.
that's
No way.
real. I mean, obviously not Nazi zombies. That was just like a fun idea. But like the whole concept of like a zombie, not the mythology of the undead, but just like modern day zombies are usually used as like reference to like consumerism and just how people are greedy and hungry and they just keep eating and they never stop, and how that's a metaphor for American consumerism or
No
just
way.
consumerism in general.
Where did that come from?
I think like in the 1900s, like in America. So it like
Really?
the words, yeah, I remember like hearing the word zombie in like really old film, like people just talking like on the radio or shows back then. So the word zombie existed and it was referenced in that regard. So yeah, obviously because media advanced, it's more common now than it was back then, but it still was a thing back then. So there's your trivia about zombies.
Dude, that is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually finding some stuff about this right now.
Oh, you're googling. You're googling it right
Yes.
now.
Dude, that's
Uh,
hilarious.
I mean, it makes some sense. The idea of consumerism and just like constantly buying things versus a zombie who constantly eats and is never satisfied. You know, can you see like the parallel and how it's relatively accurate?
No, I do. I mean, I would have to do more digging on something like
That's
this, and
that's the real
I'm definitely
horror.
not.
That's the
I'm
real
definitely
horror
not. I
story.
don't have searching fingers like young Jamie
What?
from JRE, but I I'm gonna look at this. This is interesting, bro. Seriously.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting when I first thought about it.
Okay. Anyways, so here's the thing. First of all, Greeks don't celebrate Halloween the same time as Americans. Like the big thing generally aside from the topic of Halloween, like American holidays and like everything are literally just specific to America, which makes sense because every country has its own like observed holidays, but like Halloween in the American sense is literally not celebrated anywhere else, which like is common sense.
St. Patrick Day is also an American primary holiday,
Yeah, I know. And like
which is
Father's Day,
funny.
Mother's Day, those are not really celebrated anywhere else.
No, those are international holidays, but
Are
St.
they? I don't
Patrick's
think they are.
they are, but St. Patrick's Day is supposed to be like an Irish holiday, but only the Americans really care about it, which is funny.
Are Father's Day and Mother's Day international? Oh, okay, interesting. There is actually some stuff like tying it to Eastern Europe. Okay, I was wrong. You got me. Shut up, Pete. Whatever. Anyways,
Thank you.
so the way that it works in Greece is there's like a kind of like a carnival. Not really carnival. It's like the Greek version of Halloween, but it's more of like you dress up in kind of like a carnival fashion. I don't know how to explain it well because I
Or
actually haven't even like
is it like the Mexicans like Day of the Dead sort of festival?
no, I mean, it has its similarities, but the point is like, yeah, so okay. The whole premise behind it is that it starts right before Lent, so the whole fasting period before the, Christian stuff. It's just literally like right before then, and I forget the significance of like what the day signifies specifically, but
What's
it's
its name?
in Greek it's apokrias.
Apocryphus?
Sort of. Greeks roll their R's, but anyways, yeah. So in terms of like an actual day for Halloween or something like that, there's nothing. But like it's a day where people dress up and people like kind of like not parade the streets, but it's a like a carnival fashion or Dia de los Muertos or something like that. So now in terms of Greek mythology, like monsters, there's there's a
A lot.
million of them. There's a million, dude. I can tell you. Like you've heard of Medusa, probably the most famous monster.
Medusa, Hades, the ruler of the underworld.
No, Hades was a god, bro.
Yeah, but he is literally the ruler of the underworld, where all
Yeah.
the monsters and horrible people are. Isn't
Ah.
Cerberus in the underworld? Isn't that like his dog that guards
Cerberus
the
is his
underworld?
guard dog. Yeah, this is
The
dude
three-headed
that,
dog.
yeah, he guards the gates to hell, basically. Three-headed dog. Pretty
Or
dope to have a three-headed dog.
what did Hercules fight? The snake monster, the Hydra. The
Snake.
Hydra
Yes,
that
the Hydra. The Hydra.
cut its head off and it keeps coming back with more heads.
Yeah, every time you cut a head off, it doubles. It grows back and doubles. So, the point, yeah, in Greek mythology, when Hercules fought it, you had to,
Burn
as
it.
soon as you cut it off, yeah, you put a torch to the open wound and burn it, and that's how the Hydra was defeated. But yeah, what monsters do you want to know about? Because like there are so many genuinely that there's not even a chance I could like rattle them off all the top of my head. But
What's
we've
a
got
really
Medusa,
like
we've
scary
got
one?
Hydra.
Like what's a really scary monster?
I mean, the Hydra was honestly like a scare. Okay, Medusa. Imagine looking somebody in the eyes and you're instantly dead. That's basically what happened.
What's the story of Medusa? Do you know what happened to her?
Actually, I was looking at this the other day. So, according to the mythology,
She used to be really pretty, but
yes,
she was also
exactly.
pretentious or full of
Um,
herself. And then some
she
god was
wasn't.
like, "You're too pretty."
No, it wasn't that. It was she was beautiful apparently, and her and Poseidon they did the deed in
Yeah,
Athena's
yeah.
temple, and Athena didn't like that because that's like disrespectful, bro. Like, why are you gonna do that in my temple? You know, go to your own temple, type of thing. So, anyways,
Yeah, but Poseidon's temple is wet, and nobody likes doing it in like a wet temple. You know what I'm saying, Pete?
no,
I mean, there's not enough towels to like clean up the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So
Alright,
obviously they had to go to Athena's temple.
anyways, so Athena got pissed off, and she was like, you know what? All your beautiful hair and like your good looks, everything, like. So Athena didn't like that, and she was probably like, okay, since you captivate every man that lays their eyes upon you, then they're gonna be cursed with like dying as soon as they see you. And like she also like made her super ugly. And by that I mean like she turned her hair into snakes, and she's basically like a half of a snake herself. It's crazy, but yeah. So every person
Was
that
Medusa
looks
a
her in the eye-
god, a titan, or was she just some girl that Poseidon slept with?
she was just some
was just-
random yeah,
Just a random lady who got
She's really
God's
good looking.
attention.
Yeah, man, according to the folklore, yeah, she's some really random good looking
I mean that
lady.
that says a lot, doesn't it? That like even like thousands of years ago, like good looks can get you like connections with gods. And meanwhile, we're in the modern era, and that's still the sentiment still has some merit to it.
Dude, you know sex sells, man. It's like the number one thing. We're so like almost enslaved by our primal condition. But no, we'll talk about that another time. So, anyways, yeah, he turns her into this just gorgon monster thing, and anybody that looks at her turns to stone, and they're dead instantly. And so, like all the depictions in like Hollywood and stuff were actually like they weren't too shabby. I mean, the Percy
They make
Jackson
her look
one
pretty.
was okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah, they try to make a snake person look pretty exactly. Like
The whole-
did you ever watch Clash of the Titans? Yeah, it was Clash of the Titans.
Isn't that a mobile game, Pete?
No. There was a movie called Clash of the Titans. I forget the
Um,
actor's name, but he played Perseus,
Perseus. I don't know who that is.
son of Zeus. No? Anyways, he fights Medusa, and like they depicted her in She had like the features to actually be good looking, but she also looked like a snake. You know, like that's like what they did basically. It was weird.
Okay.
It's
All
weird
right.
to describe. But that's one very common Greek monster. I mean, yeah, like I said, there are so many, dude. There are
Did she
like
just did she just like roam around Earth, or did she like go to what's the underworld called in Greek? I forget. There was a name for it.
I forget actually too. Jeez, you're
Is the
stumping me.
river is the river
Ah,
Styx?
the
Isn't
river
that
Styx.
isn't that also Greek, I think?
Yeah, it is. It is.
All
That is
right.
the river that runs through the underworld.
With all the hands that of the damned souls that try to grab you or something.
Uh, well, yes. No, 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 no. I'm joking. It's actually like the boundary between the dead and undead world. And actually,
Oh,
the funny thing is, I actually went to it in Greece because there's a literal river that's
you
like
went to the underworld, Pete? You saw Hades there?
yes, I swam in it also. No, I actually did swim in it though. I think I was maybe 12 or 13. I forget. It was several years ago, but when I was in Greece, I literally swam in it. And it was actually
All right.
really pretty. It was actually really freaking nice. And we ate some good food there also, like on a restaurant on the river. It's like a huge tourist spot.
Sweet. Who knew a river of damned souls makes for a hot tourist attraction?
Um, I think it's called Acheroda, actually. Yeah, that might be it. I don't remember for sure. So any Greek speakers probably will call me out. But
I guess
anyways,
underworld is good enough.
so oh, here's one of my favorite stories actually was Theseus and the Minotaur. You know, the labyrinth.
I've definitely read it, but I forgot. I'll probably remember when you recap it.
So I mean, long story short, there was this Greek hero. Was it Theseus? I'm pretty sure it was. Ah, yes, 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 yes. Okay, perfect. So like he had a bunch of like quote unquote heroic like things that he did, but basically the one that really stands out is the labyrinth. So the labyrinth was like this inescapable maze that Daedalus created.
Who is this
Um,
guy? Who's Theseus? Theo?
Greek
Who
hero, Greek hero.
is he? A
Like
son of a
in Greek
god?
mythology, there are like a million heroes. It's
Are they
just
all
like
just Zeus's children? All of them,
basically,
basically.
according to our fan favorite Wikipedia, he's a mythical king and founder slash hero of Athens.
Oh, okay. So
So
he's just
whatever
a
that
really
means.
cool Greek person.
Yeah, yeah. This guy had clout. So, anyways, he had to go into the labyrinth because
There was
he
treasure
had
at the
to
end.
what?
Was there treasure at the end of the labyrinth?
He he um he went into the labyrinth to go like his mission was to slay the monster, the
The
Minotaur. It was
Minotaur.
basically half man, half bull, like huge, jacked, like body of a man but head of a bull. It's like it would eat people. It was basically every 7 years they would send
Someone. A
or like and
champion.
every 9 years actually they would send 7 boys and 7 girls
To
into the
sacrifice.
labyrinth, yeah, to like quote unquote survive, and they were basically human sacrifices to this thing. So basically Theseus was tasked with killing it. So he takes a nice little crew from Athens and then goes and tries to navigate this labyrinth. But like the way that he was able to get out, because no one else ever did this, was he had
A
a
rope.
ball of yarn, roll of yarn. I forget what it's called. Anyways, a ball of yarn, and he used that from the start. Like he at the entrance to the maze, he just dropped the ball of yarn or whatever, and just like literally carried the string with himself like through the whole way, so he could retrace his steps out of it.
Yeah.
And so he was given that by the king's wife of the place where that labyrinth resided.
So it's
Anyways,
probably some magic yarn that never runs out, I assume.
yes, yes.
Because
Now,
otherwise, that sounds pretty stupid that no one thought of that before him.
yeah, it was Ariadne's yarn. Apparently, it was like super, super long. She also had some like mystical powers, but that's not important. Anyways, he slays this gigantic monster, and then one important part of the story is he was told by his father, whom, quote unquote, the Aegean Sea is named after now. His name was Aegeus or Aegeus. I don't know how to whatever.
Aegis?
Yeah. So that was his father, and his father told him to depart with black sails. But if he returns with black sails, that means he failed in his mission. In other words, the Minotaur killed him. But if he was successful, to return with white sails. And genius Theseus returned with black sails, and his father saw that and jumped off a cliff out of despair and grief at his son
What
dying.
the heck is
except
the
he didn't die.
moral of this story?
There's no moral. It's just Greek mythology, man. It's all tragedy and amazing like heroes and monsters and stuff. That's just normal.
Why couldn't he just like wait for like the crew to come back and be like, "Hey, we're alive," versus, "Hey, he died"? Why'd he be like, "Son, send the message before you even show up"? Whatever. Greek people are silly.
Because, man, it makes for a good story.
Yeah,
it makes for a good
it ends
story.
with the
Stop
guy jumping
questioning
off
it.
the cliff.
Well, at least we got the name of a sea from that. That was
Sweet Pete.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay. Achilles was
do you want to know any Achilles?
Yeah, he was pretty
Achilles
cool.
had
he was the
there's no monsters in there though, so that's kind of
No, I know, but he was pretty he was basically the Greek Superman except for his heel.
Yeah.
Cuz for some reason they didn't feel the need to like put all of him in the magic juice.
No, so I'll give you a quick synopsis of his thing, and then we can move on to like I have a question for
All
you.
right.
But basically he was basically invincible because his mother dipped him
Magic
in
water.
I believe it was the river Styx. It was in a river. I forget the river exactly. She dipped him in the river and held him by his ankle or by his heel. So that's why his whole body was basically impenetrable. He was an unbelievable warrior, but he was vulnerable in that one spot, and so in the Iliad, or the battle with Troy, he gets killed by having an arrow pierce his heel, which I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you don't die if you get shot in the heel.
They probably poisoned the arrow. That's how they did it.
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't remember how it goes in the story, but if Kobe could take free throws with a torn Achilles, then I think
You think Achilles?
I think you could still make a comeback if you have an arrow
No.
pierce your heel. But hey, man, I don't want to experience that, so I'm gonna just stay in my lane over here.
No, because I remember I read one of Hercules' many variations of his endeavors, and there was like there was Megara, the girl that he loved, and then that girl, like there was another guy, and the guy, Hercules killed that guy with like poison. No, what he did was he after he killed the Hydra, he took some of its blood because apparently it's really poisonous, the blood, and he created like arrows dipped in that blood, so that he basically had poisoned arrows. And I forget the reason why, but he killed a man who Megara had some relation to. And when he was dying, he told Megara, "Give him my sweater, like which he dipped in his own like poisoned blood." And he said, "Give it to him." And he put it on, and it was, soaked in poison. So he literally like had to rip it off of him, like, and he was like dying of poison, and he was like burned, and it hurt.
Interesting. I actually know a lot about Greek mythology, and I loved those. Like, if you were ever a kid and you liked reading Rick Riordan, then I salute you as well as a fellow indulger, if that's even a word.
Greek mythology is cool.
I loved those books. Those Percy Jackson books, and then like the Lost Hero series also. I loved those books. And I love Greek mythology as well. I would read about Greek mythology in Greek. I loved it so
Yeah.
much. It was like, dude, it was like Greek mythology and dinosaurs were like my childhood. Whenever I would go to Greece, I would just read books and watch movies about Greek mythology and dinosaurs all the time.
Sweet.
Like my aunts would just give me so much stuff, and I'd be like, I love you.
I'll remember
I'd be
that.
like, I think I just discovered fire.
I'll remember that. On your birthday, I'll give you a dinosaur book.
Man, I'm not a kid anymore. Relax.
Are you sure? I come to your house dressed as a dinosaur, and you're just like you're smiling cheek to cheek.
Only, hey, only if you're wearing that inflatable dinosaur costume.
Yeah,
You know that,
yeah,
like,
the
you
one
know
on
what
memes.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
I think I'll be that for Halloween next year. But this year, unfortunately, I was the what's it called? The purge. Not unfortunately, the purge. You know, like one of those people from the Purge with the masks
Oh,
and everything, and like the light up mask with like the fake stitching and everything.
sweet Pete.
Hollywood depicts scary monsters and horror in an interesting way. What's the scariest movie you've ever watched, and did it involve any like Halloween themes?
Scariest movie that I ever watched.
Like for me, it was Friday the 13th, without a doubt.
Uh,
But I also watched it when I was super little. Now, if I watch, I'm just gonna be like, this is so stupid. Like this is just, why are you gonna watch people getting hacked down? It's just that's not entertaining at all. You have to be a masochist.
I mean, there are things like adrenaline junkies or people who like thrills. So,
But thrillers are different. You know, like thrillers are like those Jordan Peele movies, like Get Out or Us. Like those are great movies. Or supernatural type of movies, like what is it, Insidious or The Conjuring. Those things are more to really like scare you. But like the gruesome horror movies, I just don't understand how that can be entertaining.
I mean, sometimes you just need to see a corpse or a human mutilated.
You need to?
Not
Who
me.
needs to see
Not
that?
me. I never did that, but, you know.
No, I believe you. I'm saying who needs to see that?
Maybe
But
it satisfies their
do you have,
urges
like,
to do it themselves. Who knows?
I mean, hey, to each their own. But do you have like a scariest movie you've ever watched?
If I did, I probably repressed it a lot.
Yeah, I will say I've never been into horror, probably because of those terrible experiences I had as a kid. But I've actually gotten into it relatively as of late. Like, funny enough, like I watched like this one show. I don't watch shows, but I was like just over a friend's place and watched this one like horror show on Netflix, like a couple of episodes, and it was relatively good.
What's it called?
I liked it. The Haunting on Hill Road or of Hill Road, something like that.
The
Check it out, folks. It's not a bad
The
show.
only thing that I know, like, for a fact that I was factually as a child, like, genuinely scared was there was a cartoon show called Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh my god.
And
that's hilarious.
And I honestly wasn't scared of, like, every episode of that show except one. There was one episode that had, I guess a mummy is what it is. It had a...
Yeah.
So, do you know what the show is?
Courage the Cowardly
Yeah.
Dog? Dude, of course.
So,
that was also
it's
huge childhood
it's a
move.
2D animated
Cartoon
show,
Network.
you know. It's like 2 dimensions. But on
that's right.
occasion they use like CGI, which is like 3D generated animation. Very
Uh-huh.
rarely for
Uh-huh.
usually horrifying things. And there was just one episode with a mummy where tell me if this rings a bell, where like there's this ancient like Egyptian artifact and it like predicts 3 plagues will fall upon the house if they don't return the slab. And Eustace, the bald guy, he just like he keeps it because he thinks he'll make a fortune from it. And then you just hear this voice, this like, return the slab. And it's just this like echoey voice that you don't see who's making that voice until the very end. But it's just a very chilling notion that something is just out there being creepy. And then when I don't know what, like, because I've seen it as an adult and it doesn't scare me at all now. But like as a kid, the voice and the visuals of the mummy and the very like clunky animation, because the mummy isn't like moving very intricately, it's just kind of moving its arms around, but like everything about it just horrified me. Like I would like sleep with my like blanket over my what are you laughing at, Pete? It's genuinely scary.
Dude, you're talking about I'm gonna clown you endlessly for this, man.
What?
You're talking about Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Pete, I dare you to like watch some episodes and realize how like dark it really was.
You just exposed yourself hardcore.
I mean, I was 5, Pete, so...
Oh, okay.
What, you think this was yesterday, Pete?
I thought you were a little older.
Pete, I was Pete, if it was 2001, 2002, I was like 6 or 7 at the time.
Yeah, okay, fair.
That's the only thing.
Cartoon Network
used to be really good.
You remember the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? Also,
yes,
like
I did.
It was
that never scared
Billy
me.
And Mandy.
That never scared me.
No, it wasn't scary.
Funny.
That was more of like a stupid show. But yeah, the Grim Reaper was their best friend.
Yeah.
That was damn. All these shows, Hollywood, man. Hollywood loves Halloween stuff. Like, I remember when I was younger, Disney Channel would always have, like, Halloween specials. And, like, they would make movies designed around Halloween. And they were always so bad.
But they were so bad in a charming way. That's what made them good as a stupid kid.
I know. Yes, exactly. They always involved, like, one type of, like, high schooler in the movie, in the plot. And, like, they're either traveling somewhere or they're going away for a weekend, or their family is like doing something like completely. It's like always the most predictable plot, and
yeah,
I don't know. It's just hilarious. It's crazy when I think back on it, because I used to be obsessed with them also.
Yeah. You know what sucks is that TV shows don't do that anymore. They don't do like Halloween specials or Christmas specials.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because no one watches cable that much anymore.
Yeah, it's
like,
because of decisions like this.
I feel like our parents.
It's because of decisions like this. If you don't put anything fun to watch, no one's going to watch. It's that simple.
I mean, also because streaming exists, dude. Like, no one cares about. Like, it was always the reason that Halloween specials and all that stuff like existed was because there was always ad space that created the hype.
Yeah.
Like, they would always have like TV ads like saying like, oh, like follow our 31 night countdown to Halloween or whatever on like, I don't know, Cartoon Network or something, and they'd play like a horror movie or a famous like show or whatever like every single night for an hour.
Yeah, but that's
or
fun.
Marathons. I don't know.
It gives you like a kid. I remember as a child, every time I come home from after school, I would watch TV like right away. Whereas now I come home from work and I just do more work. You know, I have zero interest in watching anything TV related anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I haven't watched, like I said to you earlier, today was the first time I watched TV in months.
What'd you watch, Pete? What was so interesting that you had to watch TV?
Not Halloween themed, but it's called Money Heist. It's a great show.
Money Heist, all right. What,
it's
robbing a bank?
The Royal Mint of Spain.
Close enough.
Yeah, they print like 2.4 billion euros in this show, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody else.
I hope it's fake, right? It's not real. I hope.
I would assume it's fake.
It's just the live stream of some guy robbing the mint of Spain.
No. Yeah, probably. Okay, I have another question for you. What is the scariest? I guess, like, which one would you say from your vantage point is objectively the scariest Halloween monster? There are a lot.
Halloween?
And there are so many different, like, mythologies and folklores of monsters. So it's like, we can just choose, like, one of those, like, the popularized ones or versions.
If we're talking, like, reality, zombies, fast-moving zombies really scare me.
Dude, that's what scared me about The Walking Dead. Because like I said, like, I would watch this show and freak out. So, like, I would go to sleep thinking, like, holy crap, what if we had, like, a crazy super bug that just turned half the population to zombies, and, like, half of them were, like, like running like Olympic track
No,
stars.
yeah.
Like
If
holy
they're slow zombies, I don't care because I can just walk faster than them. But every time I see a fast moving zombie running unhumanly, like with their arms flailing, and like they don't in media, the zombies never run like a normal person. They always run like a feral
dude,
creature or a
exactly,
being with its
exactly.
arms like not functioning properly, and it's just I think the word is uncanny valley, or no, there's a word for something that's like off, like realistic but also
Yeah.
off-putting.
Yeah.
And zombies running scares me
Dude.
because they're
Yeah.
in media they're portrayed as like an untiring feral creatures that are going to pursue you forever.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, like mummies were more of a historical figure, and they're like zombies anyway.
Yeah, but
So
mummies.
it's like just this idea of like a slow moving creature that has absolutely no purpose but to like literally kill you.
Yeah.
That is just horrifying. And
Um.
it's because it's like people hate like torturous things like slow and painful. Like
Yeah.
if you want something to happen, people want it to just happen quick so they get it over with. But like the idea that you're like meeting your maker really slowly is it's freaking scary, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mummies are silly because I listened to a podcast like not recently, but like a Halloween theme episode, and they were talking about monsters, and they said like, what would a mummy like do? Because mummies are not like zombies. Like, yeah, they are undead, but when you think of a mummy, you're not thinking of like turning into a mummy when you get bitten. You just think of some creature, but like all a mummy is just some like pompous like malnourished Egyptian guy wrapped in toilet paper. So it's like,
Wrapped in
so
toilet
what's he
paper.
gonna do? What's he gonna do? You know, you just push him over. You know,
You clown.
because like
That's
because
hilarious.
zombies are scary
Oh
because
man.
if you get bitten. You're either going to be torn to shreds or you're going to turn into a zombie. So either way, you're done. But a mummy doesn't really have all
Dunzo.
that romantic stuff behind it. It's just a scary guy, I guess. After I listened to that podcast, so yeah, I was like, yeah, mummies are kind of silly. The same with skeletons. Like, they're just skeletons. What are they gonna do? What can they do?
The traditional like Hollywood representation of ghosts, or no, like the really watered down version of ghosts, like kind of like Casper the Friendly Ghost or stuff like that. But like also the idea of literally something that's just not there but also there at the same time, that's pretty freaky too.
That
I'm
is
also I don't believe in ghosts to be fair, but like,
that's the thing,
you know,
right? If ghosts were real, I mean, I would need to like see something, like anything, to like make me
yeah,
care.
I need evidence exactly. Like I like a sound here or a little brush of wind past my cheek there. It's just like I don't buy that. I want to like have a genuine interaction with something, and I'm definitely not gonna go do a Ouija board or have my like whatever tarot cards being read. I don't even know what that's
I
related,
think
but it
that's more
is
fortune
now.
telling, but whatever.
That's fine. It's fine. It's all supernatural.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
won't go so far as to say ghosts don't exist. I'd like to think that when our time comes, our souls will just stick around. You know, they won't go away.
okay, that's fair. But I'm definitely not gonna mess around and like try. Like if somebody asked me to go and walk into like a haunted house or something, I could tell them to go screw themselves. I'm not gonna go and walk inside this house. Like
I would, yeah, I would.
this is
If someone, I mean, if they paid me like $1 million, I'd do it. But like, why would I just?
no, there's no amount of money. It's just for me. It's like it just makes no
Why
sense.
not? It's a free
It,
$1 million.
because there's more psychological trauma that I would get from that than actual like harm from another soul. I would walk in there and this is how it would work for everybody. I would psych myself out so much just by thinking of something that could possibly like, you know, like
Your mind will start playing
attack me or
tricks on
whatever.
you,
Yeah.
thinking something
And
is
then
there.
in the end, like I'll literally just go crazy. And that's probably what happens to all these people that recount ghost stories. You may call me a skeptic, but unless you and your Casper friends can find me, you know, I'm not buying
What
it.
would you do if you were a ghost and all you could do is move small objects?
You can't though because you're a ghost. You are not tangible.
No, you
have
have
no
you
like.
have telekinesis, but it's very weak, so you can only move small objects. Would you mess with people?
No, that's messed up. Could you imagine if what is the really like off chance that that's like the true nature of stuff like that? And so any ghost that exists, they do it on purpose.
If you were a ghost, you're kind of stuck there forever. You'd get bored.
You might as well have fun.
Yeah, why not? Just like I don't know, move a chair like those stereotypical like rocking chair, like when someone's just
Yeah.
like looking at the chair, you
Yeah.
just poke it a little and it starts moving and then watch as they freak out.
Yeah.
That'll be funny
Yeah.
if you're a ghost.
I mean, I would probably try to spell something with like items, little pebbles or pencils. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
what
trying
would
to
you
be like,
write?
yeah, I'm here.
I'm here.
Um,
You don't think that'll freak everyone out?
No, I would actually try to write something more creepy because the point is like, yeah, you gotta have fun. You're screwed already. You're like you're nothing. You are literally nothing. So just have fun.
You would write I'm here, and they would think
No,
that's
no.
like a threat, like you're desecrating my land. They wouldn't think you're just trying to
No,
like
I would
talk
write.
to
I
them.
would write something. I would write something more abrasive. Probably.
You're cursed.
No. That's cliche. I would probably write something like
Go home. You'll know the person's name, and you'll write go home, Daniel, or like something that with their name, like so they freak out. It's like, how does he know? He knows something.
damn. You know what? I'm gonna think on this and then bring it back next weekend because this is like. I'm just like blanking on a phrase I would write, but it would be a phrase that would like as soon as someone reads it, like
They freak
their
out.
lips go cold, their skin tingles.
What would be
Insert
a phrase?
thriller verse over here.
Yeah, what would be a
What?
phrase that would freak you out if it was just an anonymous phrase from any film?
I wish we could poll the listeners. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, we'll mention our phrases next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, so fast-moving zombies are that scares me because that's
Yeah. That's top of my
Out
list
of-
too.
out
Because
of
like
all
it's
the
the most
things-
realistic
yeah.
version of like something that can exist as well.
yeah, that's probably the thing that gets me. Is like this could happen. Like the chances of it happening are close to zero, but
Yeah.
the fact that it's not zero is like, well, that's not good. So
Yeah. No, it's freaky, dude. Like I said, a superbug could just hit us one day. We'd have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
You also
Yeah.
do you know about the do you know about that fungus for the ants? That special
no.
You don't know about the special like mushroom
Ant fungus? Nah.
So there's like there's a type of parasite. I think fungus is what it is, and it can infect an ant, and what it literally brainwashes the ant to do stuff.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And it can start like attacking other ants. It can start infecting other ants, and it basically, in a sense, takes control of the ant's body and makes it do stuff. The ant eventually dies from this, but like
That's freaky.
the fact that there's like a type of plant or fungus that literally can infect a living creature, and it doesn't kill it, but rather takes control of it and makes it do things, it means there's a precedent for this kind of thing to happen to animals.
That's freaky, bro. That's freaky. Oh, you know what else? Like, yeah, like the whole like idea of possession as well. Like, you remember the movie The Exorcist as
yeah.
well? Yeah, so like demons or ghouls or ghastly creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That still falls under the ghost. So, I mean, that's scary, and The Exorcist is scary, but like,
Yeah, the idea of just having a host being possessed by something entirely different that's just not human, it's weird. It's freaky, man. I don't like that at all. It doesn't sit well with me. But also, it's pretty not normal idea in general. So like, yeah, it shouldn't sit well with me or you or anyone else that's trying to stay positive.
yeah, it's true. Positivity wards ghosts off. Didn't you know?
Yes, and hopefully zombies and the future
And
zombie
vampires
apocalypse.
and everything else.
You know what? We're gonna do a future episode on how to survive the zombie apocalypse.
I mean, that's pretty easy. Unless
there's a lot of discussion to be had there.
unless it's an airborne virus, it's pretty easy. If it's
Okay,
airborne,
fair,
then
fair.
you're dead. You either are
Yeah.
prepared or you're dead.
Very true. But you know what?
Yeah,
Stay positive, and it doesn't matter.
it's true. It's true. As long as you have that, life will go on. Pete, it's getting pretty late. The monsters are gonna come out, on this November 1st scary night.
November 1st. Yeah. Also, Alex didn't say that he's a shape-shifting ghastly creature. So
Yeah, and Pete forgot to mention that he was the male equivalent of Medusa. So
You call me ugly, bro? Damn.
I mean,
Appreciate that.
You were pretty at one point.
Ah, that's so tough. Oh. Anyways.
College changes you, It's basically.
Anyways. At least I'm staying positive.
It's true.
The triple crown of stay positive.
That's true. Ladies and gentlemen.
I hope everybody enjoyed their Halloween,
Yeah.
and we will be back soon.
Take care. And stay positive.